In this video, I'm going to show you how to customize your Digication ePortfolio. To get started, we are going to work in the header section, and to do that, we're going to click on this little padlock icon in the upper right-hand corner. And what we're going to do first is we are going to click underneath the padlock to open up our settings menu, and this is going to allow us to change our top and bottom layer backgrounds. So the top layer background is everything between these blue lines here, and the bottom layer is this outside layer. So it's sort of like a layer cake. The bottom layer and the top layer is stacked on top of it. So you can change your background color to be whatever you want by using the colors. There is an opacity button that makes things more or less see-through, so the higher the percentage, the less see-through your color is going to be. One thing we have with Digication that's really cool is we can choose images for the ePortfolio, and I'm going to come down here on my bottom layer and choose the Select Image button. And if you click Search Image, our school has a subscription to Unsplash, which allows us to search Unsplash for any image that they have. And I'm just going to type in background here and see what comes up. So there are a lot of different options. I'm just going to pick one. So we'll do the green. And I'm going to tell it to upload. And now I've got the green background, and you can see it through my top layer, which is only at 50%. So everything is pretty readable here. The next thing you can do is if you want to change your title, you can use the text edit module to customize that. There's also the button bar, which we are going to customize really quickly. If you click the little cog underneath the edit pencil, that will open up the settings menu for the button bar. And there are all kinds of different options here. So there are font colors. I usually change those to black. The hover color is the color the font changes when you mouse over it. You see it's changing there. The font active color is the color that it'll change when you're actually using that button. So let's change mine to green. So you can see mine is selected right now because it's green. I don't have a second page to show you what else it could look like. If you want to add more space, you can add padding. The button color is where you can actually change the color of the entire bar. So we'll make mine light green, and when we hover it, make it a darker green. And that doesn't go well with the blue, so let's make the blue white. There we go. And then my active color is this gray, so we're just going to leave that the color it is. You can align your buttons center, left, or right with this alignment button, or you could add rounded corners to your menu buttons. There's also background colors and other options you can change there, but we're just going to leave those the way they are. So the next thing we want to work on customizing is our bottom sections. So over here on the right, we are going to click on section number 1, settings menu with the little cog. And what I want to do is I would like to make this background show up on my whole page. To do that, I'm going to come down to the Select Image button and Previous Uploads, and you can see my background here. And you see it's not really lining up well. To fix that, we often have to switch the little switches under Fixed and Repeat. So I'm going to come back to my header section, and I'm going to unlock my padlock and choose the header cog, and I'm turning on my fixed toggle down here, and you see it all lines up now. So that's how I can do the background to be matching the whole way. And I'm clicking my cog again on the main section here. I can make my color match the color above. And I'm also going to set that to 50%. So those match pretty well. The next thing I'm going to do to customize is I'm going to add a rich text box. And I have just added some dummy text in here. I'm going to move this over to the left. And one thing I think is really cool about Digication is that if you use the header function, I'm going to highlight my header for this section, come here to the big T little t and tell it heading. It sets your headings apart for you, so that's something that's pretty easy to do when you're writing for the web. And what I want to do now is I'm going to click this cog and open the module settings menu. Here is where you can change your fonts for your body fonts, and you can change the color. You can change the padding. So for some reason they have it padded really large. I usually make mine smaller. Your background color. Change your background color opacity. If you wanted to add an image, you could do that. And one thing I'm going to do here under advanced customization, I actually want my heading to stand out a bit more, so I'm actually going to put this in a different font. And so now, whenever I'm using a header on my ePortfolio, I can use a font that's going to stand out. So one thing that's really helpful about Digication is if you come to this Customize Style bucket and click on it, it will allow you to apply this style to all new modules. So I can select all that and tell it yes. And then if I want to add it to existing modules, I can change the fonts on my entire ePortfolio with a couple clicks. And this will show you all of your other modules. So if there are some that you don't want to change, like if you have a footer or something like that, you can unselect those and just tell it apply style, and it will change the entire ePortfolio. So that is a crash course on how to customize your ePortfolio. What we want to do now is make sure, if you haven't shared it, you need to view your recommended settings and make sure that you've got it set to public. You also want to add a thumbnail to the directory so you don't have this boring little page button looking thing here. And once you've done that, go ahead and hit save. And you want to click the drop down and tell it publish pages. That way every single change on every single page that you've edited will be published. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me.